Everyone knows the basic combination of orange and black for Halloween. But what if we extend that to a bunch of other colors? Hello there, this is Linda Bartolucci with Ink Stamp and Scrap, and today we are going to talk all things Halloween. I'm going to share with you these 3 cards. We're actually going to make one of them together, and I also am going to go through several different color combinations that you might want to consider for your Halloween projects. Whether you're making cards or you're making classroom gifts or just want to be the fanciest on the block and package your candy up very special this year, this video should give you lots of tips, tricks, and ideas. So let's get started. All right, the first thing I want to share with you is that we're going to be using these 2 stamp sets. The Bewitching stamp set actually has a coordinating punch that goes with it. It's just right here. You get the hat, some stars, and the band that goes on the hat. The Scary Cute also has coordinating dies that go with it. We're not using those today, but I will leave a link to a video in the description that will give you samples when those dies are used. All right, but first, what I want to talk about are color combinations. And to do that, I am going to bring in all of this. Now, don't get overwhelmed. It's going to go just fine, and it's not going to take us forever and a day. But this is a way for you to visually see how different color combinations can work. It's also a great way if you have something like this, a die that will cut out multiple shapes or different shapes. It's a great way to play around with colors. So for my oranges, I'm going to use Mango Melody and I'm going to use Pumpkin Pie. And then we all know that black going with either of those is very popular. So what else can we add in? Well, maybe we can add in a purple, like Gorgeous Grape. Or maybe we could add in a green, like Old Olive. And of course, we could do 4 of these. I'm just giving you some ideas on groupings of 3. Let me make sure these are all inside your camera there. Actually, we'll just flip this and then you can really see. All right, so again, what if I start with Mango and Daffodil, but maybe I go super bright and I look at Parakeet. Oh, Parakeet got a little bite out of it. And then I go much lighter on my purple this time, and I grab a Highland Heather. Now, in case you're taking notes on all this stuff, I want to let you know that there is a blog post linked below, and there is access to a free download that has all of these color combinations. So you can see the combinations in the blog post, and you can also download my freebie that will share with you different colors that you can use for Halloween. What about Crushed Curry? We already used the grape. Let's try a different purple. How about Crushed Curry and Blackberry Bliss, Cajun Craze, and then we'll go back to our traditional black. So let's pull this one from here. It's like playing Garanimals with clothes. We're just moving things around and trying different combinations. Now, this might not scream Halloween, but depending on the shapes and the characters that you used in your stamps, you could definitely get away with this combination. I also like Razzleberry as my purple. I like using a purple or a green with the orange and the black. I think that just lends itself to the Halloween theme. You could even just go with the, oh, here it is, with Old Olive. So you could use Crushed Curry, Rich Razzleberry, Old Olive, and Mango. So we're kind of mixing and matching there. I could also switch that out for Pumpkin Pie. So what I would highly recommend is if you have these colors, go ahead and just cut off a little bit of a scrap and play around with what you'd like to do. And leave a comment below if you like this whole color combo playing around stuff, because we're all about to design our holiday cards as well. And I'm happy to share with you lots of different color combinations that have either worked for me in the past or that I'm considering for this upcoming holiday season. So there is parakeet, mango, and black. And we could also do, let's try Cajun, Highland with the curry. Oops, that's the wrong size. And Old Olive. So lots of different options for you to choose. I hope this gave you some ideas of colors that you already have that you might be able to combine to make your Halloween cards. Let's shuffle this off and get to stamping. So we are going to create one of those 3 cards that I showed you at the beginning, and then I'll talk you through each of these cards just so you have more ideas on what you can make. So we're going to make this card right here. It uses the traditional tag. I think I have the name wrong, but I will definitely link it below. And then the Bewitched bundle with the punch for the hat, as well as the stamp set. So let's get started on that. In order to stamp both of the hat and the greeting, I'm going to use a sticky mat in my Stamparatus, because this way I can stamp with the black ink over and over until I'm happy with the coverage. I'm actually going to lay the stamp down kind of close to the edge here, because when you slide the punch on, it slides on this way. So we're going to use this hat, and then I'm going to take my greeting, which says say boo and scary on, and that I'm going to put down not all the way to the corner, but sort of in the middle here, so that I can use my tag punch to take care of that. I'm going to use Memento black ink. I'm going to close my Stamparatus, grab the 2 stamps, and then I'm going to apply my ink. And I can already see I need to get better here and stamp this down. The nice part about using a stamp positioner tool is that if I don't get great coverage on the first try, I can go back and do it again and again. I found when I was making these Halloween cards, it took 2 or 3 applications, even with how humid it is down here in Florida. All right, I'm gonna do one more, but I'm not really going to press very hard. I'm just gonna let gravity kind of take care of it. So when I was looking for just a little more coverage, I just set it down and just kind of push over here and over here off the stamps, but it's still putting pressure on the stamps from the plate. I'm still not, I wanna get a little more there. Okay, I'm much happier with that. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. Closing up my stamp pad, and I will clean these stamps off later. Now, because I have this on a sticky mat, which if you're interested in adding that to your stamp positioner, I have a link below in the description of the video and on my coordinating blog post that goes with this video. I started to say I used a paper piercer just to pick it up. I could have used my take your pick tool. I just didn't see it right that moment. All right, let's punch these guys out, and then we'll get a little color in this hat. So you can see, oh, I didn't go far enough to the edge. So we're going to grab some scissors and take care of that. I'm going to trim this off to save scrap, because I know it punches pretty close. And then I'm just going to get a little closer to the hat. Now I should be able to slide this on. The other trick is to add a Post-it note so that you can easily get this where you need it. I might need to grab one. We'll see. Well, hey there, come on. All right. Okay, I'm happy with that. Well, it's a little bit off there. I'm just looking for the border around everything to be even. That's all I really want. It's all I ever wanted, just an even border. Come on. Nope, not there. Okay, I'm gonna stop fussing because it's gonna be what it's gonna be. All right, we have flying stars and the banner, the band that goes around the hat. All of that comes with this because it's a builder punch. And for this card, I am not going to use those. So there's the hat. And then I'm going to take my, what I refer to as a traditional tag punch. I will get the official name correct in the blog post and the description below. I am just looking at this and making sure that it's lined up. Everything looks straight, even though I didn't stamp it straight. When I punch this out of the tag, now everything is perfectly straight, which is what we want. Okay, so I have my tag and I have my hat. Now I need to color my hat and I need to add some ribbon to my tag. So let's do the ribbon on the tag first, because I just think this is pretty cool. I'm gonna take my ribbon scissors and I'm just gonna take a little bit of a flag here. So I only need a few inches and I need 2 glue dots. This is our black and white gingham ribbon that you can actually color with your Stampin' Blends and change it to whatever color you'd like. So in order to make the ribbon the way you see on the finished card right there, we're going to put 1 glue dot in the middle of the bow or the middle of the ribbon and fold it in half, because that's going to create my flags. And I don't want it to be perfect. And then I'm going to take another glue dot. I know my ends are not even, but I'd rather even them up once they're attached to the tag. And I'm going to grab another glue dot and I'm going to put it on the tag. So there it is right there. And then I can cut these off at a little bit of an angle and they just look adorable. So that's how you can make a really cute flag out of ribbon on a tag, quick and easy. You don't need to feed it through a hole or anything like that. And it just looks great. All right, let's color in our witch's hat. Don't need these ribbon scissors anymore, but I do need some markers. Actually, our Stampin' Blend. So these are Stampin' Up's alcohol markers, and you can see that I grabbed my silicone mat because the color will bleed through. I'm using basic white cardstock, so the color will bleed through, and I just want to make sure that paper's protected. So I'm going to color in with just the dark Highland. And what I love about the blends is that you can layer them and build them, which is really fun. So I'm going to get a fair amount on there. And then I'm going to add 2 more layers to that center one. So I'm going to really pile on the purple. And you'll see when this dries that this middle band is much darker. And while it's setting up, we'll go ahead and just use our dark pumpkin pie to color in all the polka dots. So this card's going to look a little different than the original, but that's okay. It just gives you more ideas on what you can do. I like using the Highland Heather, the black, and the pumpkin pie. I think it's a great combination for Halloween. Very traditional. If you go to the candy aisle this year, you will see lots of green and purple mixed in with the black and orange. So now we have our hat, and now it's time to put the whole card together. So we're going to start with our card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to add a layer of designer series paper. Now, I left quite a bit of a border here so that the card base would pop, but when I started putting it together, I realized that the designer series paper is great because it has so much pumpkin pie, but it kind of fades into the card base. So what I decided to do was add a pop of black. And for this card, I'm adding a larger border of black. And there we go. So that's how this is going to go together. I'm going to glue that down in just a moment. But first, what we're going to do is take our strip, one more strip of our gingham black ribbon, and I'm going to wrap it around just to give the center an anchor. So the easiest way to put this on is to just wrap, this is way too long, is to just wrap it around. For our purposes, I'm just going to use some more glue dots because it just makes life easy, and I really don't need that much. All right, so I'm going to take my glue dots. I'm going to put one on each end for wrapping around. So one there, which now has stuck to my finger, and one here. Pull it off, and then I'm going to add one in the middle. And you can see it's sticking out just a little bit, but that's okay. I can just tuck it up and you won't see it. So first I'm going to lay this down right in the middle, and then I will wrap this around like so, and it is stuck on there. All right, next step, all we need to do is take a little bit of glue around the edges. Make sure you hear that noise so that you're not squirting out too much glue. I'm gonna layer this on my basic black, and then I will layer this on the card itself. We'll add our last two elements, and then we'll work on the inside. So again, get the corners, get the center. And then layer this right here. So there's not a lot of pumpkin pie showing around the black this time. And as you can see in the sample, I kind of layered it a little bit differently with lots more of the card base showing and not as much of the basic black. All right, we're gonna grab our dimensionals, and that's what we're gonna use to pop on the last few elements. So I'm going to put, oh, that one's too high. Take this one down here. There we go. All right, so we'll pull these off, and this is gonna go towards the bottom of the card. There we go. I want that to be, there we go. So I'm just gonna go a little bit up like that. And then again, so you can see how that bled through. That's why I used the silicone mat. I'm gonna put 4 on here since it's gonna get smushed when it goes through the mail. And I wanna make sure that it puffs back up for whoever's gonna receive this. There we go. Okay. And just like that, we have a great looking card. Now on the inside, I don't really want to just write on there. I do want to add a little bit more. So I have a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4 and an extra piece of black and white that coordinates with the original designer series paper. So let's add a cute little spider from the Bewitched stamp set and the Boo from the Scary Cute stamp set. I'm just gonna grab my Stamparatus one more time. Now remember, I didn't clean these stamps off because I didn't want to. I'm just going to pull this up, flip it over, and now I have another surface that I can use for my stamps. I'm gonna set it here. I've got this glue underneath that you can't see because it's off camera. But anyway, My glue bottle is underneath the bottom of this so that it's not actually touching my stamp surface or my table and getting ink all over the place. All right, so I'm going to put down my spider, and then I'm gonna put Boo right underneath it. I like using the lower right corner. It gives you lots of room to put your greeting. I just find it when it's, I don't know, I just like using the lower right. It is totally up to you. There we go. So just like before, I'm gonna close. You can see I still have those 2 stamps there because I haven't cleaned them. And now I'm just gonna take my black Tuxedo Memento ink pad. There we go. I'm gonna add one more layer of black just to make sure they really pop. All right, I'm happy with that. Now I can grab my Take Your Pick tool this time, which is much easier for picking this up off the sticky mat. And there we go. Now we can finish assembling the card and I can show you a couple other projects. All right, so all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on the back of my card inside. Again, this is basic white, measuring 4 by 5 1/4. I'm just going to put that right in the center. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and finish off the card by folding it on the original score line. And there we go. We are all set. There's one version and there's another. Now let me show you a couple other cards with my 2 favorite stamp sets from the holiday that go with Halloween. This one uses all 3 of the witches' hats. I used a pumpkin pie stamp and blend here, and then I punched out using that extra piece in the builder punch right there. I punched out parakeet glimmer paper as well as orchid glimmer paper. I used blending brushes to add some parakeet and some orchid up here, and then a strip of pumpkin pie down the middle. And I layered this on, actually I didn't use pumpkin pie, this is mango. And then I layered the whole thing on orchid, oasis cardstock, and mango cardstock. And this is a different greeting, Say Boo and Scary On. And then on the inside, I used a little bit more of the blended paper and put Halloween Happiness. And then for a not orange and black color scheme, we used Smoky Slate, Basic Gray, and Basic Black. This is the circle cutout die that coordinates with the rectangle one I showed you at the beginning when we were making all of our color matches. And this one, I just stamped each of the images from the Scary Cute stamp set inside the circles, layered the black on top using dimensionals, which gives it even more depth, and then layered the basic gray on the Smoky Slate. I added another one of the greetings from Scary Cute and this cute little boy carrying the lantern. So those are the 3 cards for, here, I'll just put them this way so we don't have duplicates. Those are the cards that I have created for Halloween. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your favorite one is. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. Then YouTube will know to share it with more people. And if you are new to my channel, please click subscribe and ring that notification bell so you know when I post my next video. Have a great day.